developing at 5, a ruling in the case against former Columbia student and Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil.
A judge deciding that he will remain detained in the U.S. for now. We have team coverage on this story for you. Duarte Geraldino is getting reaction outside the courtroom.
All right, first, though, we go to Arthur Chien, who was inside the courtroom for the judge's ruling today. Arthur.
Steve, Natasha, what we learned is that Mr. Khalil was arrested on Saturday night, and by Sunday night, he was already in the state of Louisiana, where he is now being held at an ICE detention facility, one that processes deportations. But what happened here in court in New York is that his case was reviewed. Basically, two questions being asked: where should he be held, and in what courtroom does his case belong? As for the courthouse here in Lower Manhattan today, it was completely packed. A combination of court staff, journalists, as well as members of the public. Many of them appear to be students, but many of them also appear to be supporters of Mr. Khalil. Now, federal prosecutors argued that because he's in Louisiana now and that he was briefly in New Jersey on his way to Louisiana, that that's where his case should be heard, perhaps because they prefer not to have it in front of the judge who put a hold on his deportation. That's Judge Jesse Furman, who today indicated he may decide to keep that case here in the Southern District of New York. Now, both sides have to file their briefs to these questions by the close of this Friday. Lawyers arguing on behalf of Mahmoud Khalil say their client, who was born in Syria, is being targeted because of his views on Israel. They spoke outside the courthouse here right after the hearing.
In retaliation for that, he was moved to Louisiana to take him away from his lawyers, to take him away from accessing this court, to take him away from his family and his support network.
The government's position is that Mahmoud has views that are similar to Hamas, namely that Mahmoud believes in Palestinian human rights and the end to an ongoing genocide. And it is for that reason, as the White House and the Department of Homeland Security have said, that he has been arrested, detained, and potentially removed.
Mr. Khalil is 30. He has not been charged with a crime, nor does he have a criminal record. His wife is a U.S. citizen and is 8 months pregnant. She is due next month. Now, U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, say Khalil did not have the right to be in the U.S. to begin with, going on to say that his expression of First Amendment when he disrupted activities on a private college campus and also his support of a terrorist organization in the form of Hamas crosses the line. And Trump himself has said Khalil's arrest is just the first of many.
This is an individual who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda, flyers with the logo of Hamas. That is what the behavior and activity that this individual engaged in. And I have those flyers on my desk. They were provided to me by the Department of Homeland Security. I thought about bringing them into this briefing room to share with all of you, but I didn't think it was worth the dignity of this room.
Mahmoud Khalil was arrested on Saturday night when his student visa was revoked. It's not clear if the government knew that he was actually a green card holder. It's much harder to deport somebody who is a permanent resident of the United States. But the merits of that type of case is not being heard just yet. They want to first know which court is going to review this case.